is up, everybody? MTG Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at a Sabine Cunning list that finished 6th place at a recent 5K last weekend. I think this list is super sweet, um, and I've been excited to test it out and kind of, get a feel for how it works. The things that really like about this list that stand out to me versus like Sabine Green are the inclusion of Leia, which I think is such a good card on like your opponent's Sabine turn or your opponent's Boba turn to kind of like keep the tempo of the game going in your favor. Surprise Strike is obviously amazing, which is one of the reasons why you should play this deck to begin with. Obviously, Millennium Falcon is another huge reason. Just being able to play that on turn 2 and just immediately swinging in for more damage. You still get to play the Fleet Lieutenant and the Wing Leaders that Sabine Green and Sabine Red use. Another really sweet card is the Rogue Operative. And so let me zoom in a little bit so you can see some of these cards. So this card is definitely one of the best turn 2 plays in the game for an aggro deck because it has Saboteur. It becomes a 4/4 while it's attacking for 3 resources, and it just goes straight to their face. So a great card, a card that I haven't seen a lot of it, but I think that's just mainly because it's built for this deck in particular. You still got the 3 K2SOs. I changed his list around a little bit. I want it to be a little bit lower to the ground, so I took out the Chewies and added in a Greedo. And I think I added in R2D2s. Here's my list that I'm going to be running today. Yeah, I added in R2D2s just to kind of like have something to cycle, and I just have another 1-drop. I like having a lot of 1-drops in an aggressive deck, just so I can kind of squeeze them in on certain turns to get more units on the field. We have the Auzituck Liberator gunship, which is a mouthful for ambushing in the air. You also play he plays 17 space units. I'm playing 16 because I dropped 1 Alliance X-Wing for a 1 Greedo. And again, my reasoning is just because I really like Greedo. It can remove things. It can also, you can slide it in on like turn 2 if you play a 2-drop or something. Or like on, turn 3 if you play a 3-drop. So it's just a great card. And then you're playing like your typical red 3, your red stuff, your Spec Force soldiers, your Sabines, your Guerrilla attack pods to finish out the game. Another unique thing is a Change of Heart as a closer, kind of like a peekaboo card. Like, gotcha. I'll take whatever big defender you had, and then just swing in and finish the game. Especially if it's like a big Sentinel. And For a Cause I Believe in is another way to close out the game, as well as Heroic Sacrifice. Sideboard that he was playing was 2 Infiltrators, 2 Wolves, 2 Fighters, 1 Chewie, 1 Lando, and 2 Disabling Fang Fighters. So like I said, I changed mine around a little bit just to kind of squeeze in the Greedo and the R2D2s that I prefer to play in aggro lists. Just the more 1-drops. But this list overall, it seems very, very comparable to Sabine Green on a lot of levels. The fact that you're getting more early pressure with like the Falcon and the Surprise Strike makes up for the fact that you don't have ambush. I like how he's playing the 30 HP base in his list. I would have played that as well if I were to play this, like, just because you're not, the yellow 25 base, I can't remember what it's called at the moment, is just not that great. So that also gives you an advantage against other aggro decks. You have a little bit of extra HP, and you can really, really pop off with this deck. Trying to think of anything else that stands out to me about this list. And I think because it's the less played version of this is the version that I would play. I always want to play the less played version, because if you're playing the most popular version, then everyone's ready for you. When you're playing the less played version, like, your opponent's not necessarily familiar with all the cards that you're using. They're not able to kind of like guess what you're gonna do next turn. Um, so and I think this list is incredibly competitive, and I really love the Change of Heart. I think that's a sweet card in here. I love that card in general. Um, but yeah, so I am going to do a couple of games on Carabast, and then I have a bunch of other games that I've already recorded on Force Table that we're just going to use this time around, and then in the future I'm going to be doing just mostly Carabast, and then there's another one I can't remember the name of the client, but I'll be using either one of those depending on which one gets better over time. But yeah, let's get into a couple games on Carabast first and see how this performs. I'm excited to try out like Rogue Operative and Surprise Strike in an aggressive deck like this, which is very similar, in so many ways to Sabine Green. The biggest you're losing Battlefield Marine, Echo-based Defender, and Steadfast Battalion, right? So that's why they were playing Chewie in the main, I think, is to have a Sentinel. And Chewie's also sweet just because it readies after it's been hit, which I really like about that card. But for me, I just want it to be a little lower to the ground. So we'll see. I might switch it back in and out. I don't know. But let's get into some games and see how this deck does. So up against Vader Green here in the first one. Wing Leader is not a great card against Vader at all. Because against Vader, you want your units to stick, and they can just ping Wing Leader. So, I think we're probably going to just get rid of the Wing Leaders. Or maybe just one of them. I really like For a Cause, and I like K2SO, so I think we're getting rid of one of the Wing Leaders in Middle Ceremony. Basically, against a deck like this, I just want to get as many units on the board as possible. Oops. I'm fine with that because if we get a 2-drop, we can squeeze in another unit. Yeah, that's what I mean against Vader. You don't really want to have flyers on turn 1. Like, that's Vader's great turn 1 play, is to just force choke play on the ground. So ideally you always want to keep a flyer early on, and then maybe that's why he was playing 3 Alliance X-Wings in his version over Greedo. Makes sense. So what can we do here? We can play R2-D2 Leia. I really don't want to. Yeah, I think Wing Leader can go at this point. Like I said, it's just too easy to kill. We need our units to stick on the board. In my Luke list, for example, I recently took out Yoda and put in Alliance X-Wing because he's underperforming, and then I just wanted to have another flyer for turn 1 so that they can't force choke me in that matchup, because that is one of the tougher matchups for Luke. So it let those units stick on the board. It makes their force chokes less valuable. Let's do this first. At least, actually, I want to keep that card in this matchup. I think it's a good card to have against when they start playing their bigger units, like their Vaders and stuff. Not sure what our opponent is doing currently. So he played Resupply, okay. Just sure. And since we already lost the initiative, we're just gonna deal damage. Our opponent is taking time to do anything this game. Okay. So we got a couple units to stick on the board to see what we can do here. For a Cause and Spec Force Soldier seems like a decent turn. Just because we're able to do two things, we're putting damage on their face and getting in your board. K2SO is fine though, so I mean if they kill it, just we do 3 damage to their face. First thing, let's go base. Seems fine. I doubt Leia survives after this turn. So playing the 5th brother, 7th sister list, which is sweet. Into Vader and Super Laser Technician, I guess? I don't know. Okay. Definitely gonna go face. Force Choke. Oh, he played Force Choke R2D2. That's interesting. So we have 5 resources here. Or not 5 resources. Well, 5 resources with Leia, but let's just play K2SO. Get a big boy on the board. And then we're going to pull Sabine out. Okay. Alright. So if he gets a overwhelming barrage, which is highly likely, it's 4 damage to do. So he could, I mean, kill Leia, put some damage on other guys. Okay, so that's not the worst thing ever. Fleet Lieutenant's good here. So is Rogue Operative. Probably gonna do. I mean, I would imagine Leia's gonna die. I'm gonna do. I like that Rogue Operative has 4, but I mean, I think Lieutenant is the most helpful card because it immediately represents more damage. So, I want to be able to play 2 units this turn. Okay, he's killing what? He's going into. Okay, he's gonna kill Leia, I guess. Yes, okay. Let's go in for 6 here. And then get another Leia down. Just to get another unit on the. First we're gonna go face. Yeah, I mean, either way, we're still just trying to get as many units as we can. Next turn, change a heart something. If he plays Overwhelming Barrage and pumps up something, then we can take the thing he pumps up. Consortium, we're definitely not going to let them get the initiative. And then we can actually claim Consortium, and it's not a bad card this turn. Red 3 is really good. So we're probably going to go red 3 for a cause here, I think. Okay, so first we go... I could just do double for a cause, I think, actually. So it just represents potentially lethal. Get double value out of K2SO, I think is important. They're probably going to kill Leia here, I guess. He's going to swing for 5, so he could kill Sabine, actually. Yes, okay, cool. So we're still going face for more damage. Kills Leia. Yep. Then we, I think we just for a cause, and I think that's just gonna be game. We did 3 damage there. So I mean, if we keep everything the same, we just win, right? For each card revealed, so we put that on the top. Top, pass. And then we just play another one and we win. Sweet. So, you know, obviously this deck is going to be very good against control. One of the also reasons to play one less Greedo, I think, so I am going to take that out real quick because I forgot about the for a cause factor as well. So, but yeah, that was okay. Iden command, I'm guessing, but I cannot see their base, which is one of the things about this Carabast. Do we have a turn 1 play? Yeah. So no mulligan. Probably getting rid of attack pod. And then what? Again, we're playing control, so I'm gonna play as many units as possible. I guess the X, because Green Squadron is better. Yep. And the initiative. Yeah, we're not gonna do damage with Sabine unless there's a turn where they have the initiative. Fleet Lieutenant is ideal. We don't need 2 K2SOs. Instant speed damage is where we want to go against control. Energy conversion lab. Okay, so they're playing the ambush version. So that's our advantage. How do you play Power of the Dark Side? This is. I think we want our arena dodge because otherwise he's just gonna take us out with Inferno and ping us 2 turns in a row. So I think play. Ooh. Alright, he gained 11 Iden. Metal Ceremony is not gonna be that good this game. Because we're going to constantly die. Alright, get in for 3. Just go K2SO here. Then if he plays like a Power of the Dark Side or something, you can just gain 3 more damage to his face. Okay, now because we are definitely flipping Sabine this turn. He might have a takedown. So, yeah, he's already claimed the initiative though, so he can't do anything else. I think he had a takedown and he didn't realize that he couldn't play it if he claimed the initiative. I think is what just happened. Okay, I don't know, but for sure. Could be wrong. Falcon is good. Probably have one rogue operative here. Next turn we can go red 3 rogue operative. I mean, the first thing we're gonna do is just, I'm imagining he's gonna take down something here. Okay, he can flip Iden too. No, not yet, not yet. Okay, let's see if he gets a resupply again. Yeah, I really want to get space units in this turn, to try to spread things out a little bit. Falcon can take a hit at least. Yeah, I'm not gonna play red 3 yet, just because I want to get as much damage as possible before they do anything to my guys. So he's already taken the initiative. So I could have actually played red 3, but more damage is better with units, so that we are threatening lethal next turn. All we have to do is ping him once with Sabine or for a cause I believe in, and I don't think he's gonna be able to recover from this. So yeah, you always want to save your for causes and just get as many units on the board as possible. Yep, and that's kind of what he saw. The writing was on the wall. So that's 2 games in a row against Control. That only took 4 minutes. I definitely think Vader's tougher just because the leader unit is better. That's kind of why I've gotten away from Iden. Like the 4/4 with a shield is just not strong enough to play on 6 resource turn. Like if you think about it, like Boba Fett comes out on like it's for 5 resources. It's a 4/7 that when it comes out it gives you 3 more resources essentially, which is nuts. Like that card is easily the best leader in the game. Like when you compare it to like Iden, it's coming out on turn the 6 resource turn, and then it's a 4/4 with a shield. I mean, if you can get it to stick, if you have a bunch of sentinels, like it's good, but good luck with that. All right, up against Cunning Palpatine. So kind of the same song and dance as the last 2 matchups. Trying to think what I want to do here. If I want to keep this hand, I really want a flyer. I don't think they don't have a way to kill it turn 1 though, right? So we'll just play Sabine. I think we're gonna get rid of Auzituck and Leia. Yeah, because Fleet Lieutenant into Sabine feels good. So this like a favorable matchup. It's nice that we keep drawing K2SS and 4 causes. Just a what did he name? He named, okay. He's already got the initiative, so we'll go ahead and ping him. And then pass. Alright, second Leia is cool. I think we're getting rid of Middle Ceremony again. You know, once you get into a rhythm of playing its control, you get a good feel for like cards that make sense. Okay, so that's not great, because he's gonna kill it. But what are you gonna do, right? That's one of their is that they is it? Why is it letting me choose that? Why can unit this unit gains Sentinel? Okay. Sorry, my friend was just sending me a message about the Mao Clunky Underworld event card, where you return a friendly non-leader Underworld unit to its owner's hand. If you do, deal 3 damage to a unit. So like you basically return a fire spray after you attack with it for 1 resource to protect the fire spray, while also doing 3 damage to a unit. That's crazy. Okay, again, we're going middle ceremony here. I think resources right, so we can play Leia. And get another resource in. And then play Falcon. That seems pretty good. Sentinel stinks. Yeah, and that card that he was just talking about, you basically you attack with fire spray, then you play that card, return it, do 3 damage to a unit, then play fire spray again. That's nuts. Yeah, that seems a little broken. Okay, so what are we doing here? It's not a lot of great options because of Chilson being in the way, and I really want to make sure that we have a way to deal with that. Trying to get more for sure. He's already maxed out with his Chilson at 5/5, so let's definitely get in with Falcon. I mean, we're just gonna have to get in with Chilson. I don't really want to, but I'd rather just get it over with, get it out of the way. The more we put the pressure on them, the better. Yes, I do want to do that. So here, what are we getting rid of? This is tough. I honestly think it's red 3 though. Just because that's not... We're gonna play the K2SO this turn. Death Trooper kills Leia. Stinks. It's nice when you have all the cards, right? Palpatine is regardless of aggro. Again, Palpatine is just a ridiculously good deck. But on that, okay. Well, it doesn't matter if I do that now, does it? It does not. Okay. Yes, we're gonna keep playing that. Change of Heart is it's sweet, but I don't really care. I could use it to kill their thing, so that's not bad. But I can't play it this turn. I really don't want to have a turn where I don't play. But I'll just play For a Cause, so that's fine. For a Cause is still really good. Do I want to deal 3 damage or make them discard a card? Yeah, they get to pick the card, so we're definitely dealing 3 damage. Okay, he played Power of the Dark Side, sure. I mean, what are we gonna get? 6 resources, I think, so we can play For a Cause to close things out. We can also play Change of Heart on something to swing it for big damage. So I think it's, oops, I did not mean to do that. This is so confusing how they have this set up on here. So we want For a Cause for sure to be the next card we draw. Yeah. Top. And then just pat. Want to make sure that we can ping with Sabine. Change of Heart is our secret sauce play if they play a big unit. Just over the top. At this point, I don't see a reason to resource anything this turn. Yeah, there's no point. We could For a Cause twice here. Or Change of Heart, depending on... Okay. So we're definitely just gonna For a Cause. This is a... So these three can go top. Which ones do we want at the top? We're gonna get us to 28, 29. So just go top, top, pass. Hopefully our fourth card is another one. And then we can win this turn. Okay. Nice. We could just do, does it really matter? We just want the Fleet Lieutenant at the top, right? And the Spec Force Soldier. Pass everything else. We just ping. Ping with Sabine for game, unless he has way to gain life. Which is possible, but we don't have any units on the... It could happen though. Ace in the hole is Change of Heart. I mean, so this is one of the reasons Sabine is... Oh, good game. Rolling on the floor laughing. 3 For a Cause, I believe, in. It's a good game. Well, hey man. That's why R2 is so important, right? And that's what, you know, that's one of the things Sabine does. You have K2SO and For a Cause. So, yeah. So 3 games in a row, they're just like annihilating control, basically. So, I mean, if you're expecting a ton of control, play this type of deck. I really like this list because I love the Falcon and I love the let me go back to the actual list so I can remember everything that's in here. I love the Leia because it gives you the ability to play that extra resource to squeeze in another unit. So that's another reason why R2 is great. Not to mention you're cycling the top of your deck to get more you know, look for what dig for your cards that help you get over the top. So what I did, I mean, one of the things that people forget about this card, besides the fact that it's completely overpowered, is that you can put cards back in order, in the correct order. So you're looking at 4 cards and then you're like, okay, there's another 4 cards I believe in, so I'm just going to keep cycling them. So that's a lot of times what happens. Like, it's not that uncommon to get 2 or 3 of these because of that reason. Like, you're drawing 2 cards every turn anyways, and then you can just play a For a Cause, look at the top 4 cards and be like, I don't want any of these, or ooh, there's another For a Cause, so I'll just play that. And that's what happens. Like, so that's not that uncommon. I've played against Sabine and my opponents had 3 of those a couple of times. So it's not that uncommon. And we're only playing 50 card decks too, so. Okay, so we're up against Luke Green first. Mulligan. Let that go. That go. I'm trying to think, do I want to go wide? Hopefully we'll draw on some more 2-drops. I'm gonna take the initiative so I can kill that thing. Chewie is a thing. I don't think we need a second rogue operative. Let's go here and just take that out. Go base. We're gonna stay in space. Now we're gonna do this. Rogue sacrifice. This turn we can really just play one thing. Let's probably just stay away from Chewie for right now. Just go on face. That stinks. It's got 5. Surprise strike's good. Oh, wait. Well, this loses Sentinel. That's pretty good. Maybe it's just Wing Leader here. Attacking ground units first. Resupply turn. Here comes Lukey Luke. Let's play surprise strike. A face. Swinging for. I think we can go ahead and just heroic sacrifice this for 5. Yeah. So kind of put them in a position where it's nearly impossible to come back. So if for a cause I believe in, surprise strike. Yeah, that echo-based defender has been doing work. But yeah, it's a close one. I mean, this deck up here is one of my 2 choices if I was playing in a tournament right now. It's just, it can be very aggressive, it gains life. It has good recovery with U-Wing. It has Luke a turn earlier with ramp. It has redemption, reinforcement walker. It's just, it can go wide. It can be aggressive with fleet lieutenant, wing leader. It's just a good deck. So this felt good though. I mean, I think the biggest thing that was going on here is they just had a 6 power unit that was, you know, coming in hot from turn 3, so it's a lot of pressure. Okay, up against my Vader blue list. So I definitely think this is going to be a tough matchup. We definitely want to be able to go as wide as possible. Yeah, that's better. So I don't think we need the attack pod right now. So we're going green squadron into red 3. I think we're going to get rid of the surprise strike too. I think we just want as many units as possible. Yeah, on turn 1, we want to play an air unit against them because the only thing they really have is force choke. They already have the initiative, so don't need 2 red 3s. Yep. It is a hard matchup. Okay, so now we're going to go here, here. They have the, yeah, they're going to, oh, whatever, he can lose Sentinel. Okay. Don't need another Sabine. Make an opening. Why would they do that on Sabine and not just take out my Spec Force soldier? I hate when AI does that. It's like, just kill the thing. Like, don't keep it alive. Let's play red 3 here. Because that's 3 damage they didn't need to take, you know? Yeah, I mean, unless they get a bombing run here, we're in pretty good shape. I don't think we need 2 of those. On who? Targeting Sabine Red. No. I'm gonna let them draw because I want to get in for as much damage as possible with the red 3 on board. Yeah, 6 damage they shouldn't have taken. And it matters a lot. Like, this is huge. Because now we're like in range of killing them, so. Yeah. No. I'm not going to allow the damage to happen. They can have all the cards they want. Yeah, I mean, we just win. I mean, takedown, vigilance. I mean, clearly you're playing vigilance there, and then definitely if this wasn't there, they would have been at 24. So vigilance would have got them down to 19, and they would have gotten still been alive. So 19 with 4, 8. Okay, I mean, it still wasn't looking good, but I don't know. I know they misplayed, though. That's the thing. It's like playing against control always feels like AI is misplaying. Like you play the Chilton here, too, at some point. Like, then I'm hitting into a Sentinel. It's like a 6/6. Look at all those blue cards. So I don't think this matchup is as easy as it's presented here. I think Darth Vader does very good, especially if they get Chilton against aggro, and then my particular version has bombing run, which I think, again, I can't see what cards they resourced, but bombing run is really difficult to deal with because they could just wipe out my whole board. So earlier, and then wipe it out again later with powered with super laser blast. So yeah, I would imagine, you know, that's going to be one of the tougher matchups, especially because this deck's going to be played a lot more, and that's where you get into the argument of, like, you really need to have, I don't think this list has R2-D2s. You really need to have, like, as many units as possible, and Spec Force Soldier, not only is it good for getting rid of Sentinel, but R2-D2 is another 1-drop, as well as Spec Force Soldier, and then you can kind of squeeze those in to make sure you're playing 2 to 3 units a turn. And that's really important, because even if they do board wipe, you're still replenishing your board state against them to keep the pressure on, and then you can finish them off with like attack pods and Fora Cause, I believe, or fleet lieutenants and things like that that are instant, you know, extra damage, or heroic sacrifices, or even the Falcon. But yeah, I think this deck is good. I mean, clearly it got 6th place. but you know, R2D2s might be a card that I think needs to be in here. I mean, this list does play Greedo, so that is another one drop, but I'm thinking, like, for me, I'm not sure about the Chewie in the main board. I think it's 5 costs, and it has to be attacked to be ready. And I think at 5 cost in an aggro deck, it needs to be like Gorilla Attack Pod where it's coming in regardless. So I think I'm gonna add into R2D2 just because it sticks on the board better because it's 4 toughness. It sets up our draws. So I would, you know, it would be like 2 R2D2, 2 Greedo, and 3 Spec Force Soldier, which feels really good because it really helps me to go wide. And then, you know, you're going wide is great. It means you have targets for Fleet Lieutenant, Wing Leader constantly. It means that Darth Vader can't just stop your coming in, and you can overwhelm them. So then this matchup would feel a little more like this. You know, the more consistently you're able to do that. It still would be close because they're getting to the big turns where they can blow up the board. It also is really nice to have a bunch of 1 resource units after they blow up the board so that you can fill the board back up with 3 more units at that point with 9 resources, or 8 or 9 resources. So, okay, up against Boba Cunning here. So same kind of thing. We want to be getting units all over the board. I think we can get rid of the alliance here, and it's tough. So when you play against like a deck like this, now this is my version, which is pretty well rounded actually, with like, I think it has like, I want to say 15 units in space. But normally Boba decks don't have that many units in space, and that's their weakness. But this particular version, that's not the case. So normally against Boba though, you want to go in space, but I'm not sure how great that's going to be here. But we're still gonna start off that way. Yeah. Just gonna take the initiative. Surprise strike, heroic sacrifice. I'm not gonna sacrifice anything right now, I don't think. Surprise strike, Specful Soldier here, or just attack and play red 3 afterwards. So the reason I say after is because, okay, yeah, sometimes they have surprise strike. Okay. K2SO is good. I think we're just playing K2SO here. Trying to get as many units on the board. They do have Cunning potentially online, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get Sabine out. Two and a 3, okay. I like Leia here. I think I like Leia. So let's play Surprise strike. Here, swinging for 7, 8. Oof. That's pretty outrageous. Okay. Wow. God, AI, man. Yeah, I don't think they're coming back from this one, but yeah, it's already over. Yeah, this is like what always happens when I play against this deck. An AI, they always just have a Cunning in their hand, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why did you not play that card? Like, that's the whole reason you play that deck. So again, it just feels like I can't wait for the that mobile desktop version that those guys are working on. We can play this game against other people, just to get a better feel. Like Force Table is really good for getting a feel of how to play the deck. It's not so great for what it feels like play against specific decks, and like when they're playing optimally or playing mostly optimally. So I feel like this is one of the tougher matchups, but you know, again, because of Cunning and things like that and Waylay and stuff like that, you just, again, you want to go wide. So even more so, and especially if you're starting to come into that Boba deck, like the guy that finished second place that I just did a video on, where he's playing Cunning and No Good to Me Dead and stuff like that. You want to go as wide as possible when you're playing aggro. Like it's starting to become that way. Like you have things like Raid, you have Wing Leaders and Fleet Lieutenants to pump up your little guys, so it makes sense just to go wide when you're playing aggro. It's really good against Cunning. It's, you know, they don't want to waylay one thing when you have 3 units on the board. That's you know, they're still getting behind when they're doing that. So up against Chirrut here, this is a deck that someone in the Facebook group had posted, where they went like 18-0 at locals. So this is a deck I'll be posting a video about here soon in the next week or so. But up against this before, I've never actually played against Chirrut before. So let's see. No, I like this hand. We can get 2 units down on 1. Feels pretty good. No attack bot. No Wing Leader, I think. So Greedo. Yeah. They got a lot of life gain. I don't think we need that. Let's go ahead and damage the bases. Since we lost the initiative. Okay. I don't think I want to sacrifice anything right now, so. Did I just do that wrong? I did. Keep forgetting it's not a rebel unit. Wonder how much that'll affect this matchup. No, we want that card. We're gonna use it next turn and kill the thing. I think we need 2 of those. Yes. Take out their ouch. Base units that gain life. Get in for damage first before we. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just more units. And you can tell the theme for me is go wide. Go as wide as possible, have units both in space and on the ground. Surprise strike's good. I mean, all these 3 are good here, because I can lose Sentinel too. Really don't want to get rid of any of these. Could just do Spectral Soldier for a cause I believe in this turn, just to be mana efficient. Yeah. I don't see a point in doing it that way. Okay, Chirrut is a thing. Okay. We're gonna attack in. It's only got 2 health left. Don't we just kill the Chirrut? I feel like. Oh yeah. That's right. That's why that card's good. Okay. That's the thing. Okay. That's what they do. So we just go face, yeah. No, we want that at this point. Let's play another ground unit save for a cause I believe in for next turn. Falcon's good too. The problem is they have the Sentinel, so I'm gonna pass on that. Okay, that was good. Yeah, so the mistake was don't attack into Chirrut. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, I mean, I'm sure AI didn't play that optimally. I'm trying to figure out what good is it if you don't have a Sentinel. So, I don't know. I guess they're healing and stuff with, but that's not a, I don't know. That's a deck that I'm gonna have to mess around with a lot because I think for me it's just gonna end up being like very similar to my Luke Blue list, where I'm gaining a bunch of life, and the difference is I'm not creating shields, I'm just pumping up Chirrut. So yeah. But again, going wide against Chirrut makes sense, because if they're just like beefing up one unit, that's not, you know, Chirrut can only attack in one time, so it kills one of my units, whatever, then I still have a bunch more coming in, so. Okay, up against Sabine Green here. I definitely think they have the advantage here, just because they have Ambush. We play some very similar decks. I mean, I have 5 HP, but I think Ambush is more relevant because you can ambush in a K2 SO or a Steadfast Battalion and just kill me and put damage or overwhelm me, so. Yeah. Just gonna try to get started in the air. No reason to do the ability here. That's not bad, actually. Let's get rid of that. I'd rather have that. Keep for a cause I believe in to save for later. Just keep taking the initiative. Okay, a couple Battlefield Marines is not too scary. This turn we can go for a cause I believe in Spec Soldier, or we can go Sabine Spec Soldier, or Ambush In, or K2SO. I think I'm good with getting rid of that. Alright, so first things first, let's get in for 4. So we definitely, I mean, it's just, these matchups are just a race, let's just be real. Like, we're just racing. So having raid is important. Having reach is important. Getting multiple, I don't know why I just did that. To be honest, that was not the card I was trying to click on. I was trying to click on K2SO, but hey, what are you gonna do? Okay, so they take 4. I mean, it's not a bad card. We're getting 4 damage to their face, and that's a good card. This is a good card, and these are all very good cards. I'm trying to think, we're gonna have 5 resources, so we could play Sabine for a cause. Yeah, I think honestly all these are fine, and then turn 6 we'll just play Falcon Fleet Lieutenant. just gonna deploy our leader, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're just out racing them this game. We just got off to a faster start with raid. So, well, they got a ton of units, but they're not gonna be able to beat us. Not with these cards in our hand. No reason for that. Just Green Squadron, A-Wing, just that'll do it right there. So I mean, that's ideal. What just happened? Like we went first, so that you got to take that into account because that definitely matters. Because we were able to hold the initiative. We didn't do the action ability, which is AI, because I would assume a person is not going to use the action ability. They're going to be like, no, that's stupid to keep doing that. I want to have the initiative too to be able to keep up with the damage each turn. We had 4 cause I believe in, which is sweet, and really it was just that simple. So I would imagine this matchup is very difficult to win consistently. It's probably like 40-60. I would say it's in their favor. The only advantage we have is 5 more HP, which is something, but energy conversion lab with like a K2SO or steadfast battalion is just too good against us. Like they just swing in, kill a thing, and either they overwhelm with K2SO or it dies and they put 3 damage on us immediately. And then the other thing they do is Steadfast Battalion. They kill something, they overwhelm us for damage, and then they just have a 7/7 on board, which we don't have. So those are 2 big advantages. So that's why I would give them the leg up. I mean, the HP thing kind of matters for sure, and that's going to help us win sometimes, but that's, in general, I think this matchup is going to go in their favor. Okay, so post-game wrap-up for this deck. This deck is super good. And I just saw there was a new card that my buddy was telling me about, Relentless Pursuit, which seems really good, potentially as a card you could use in this deck. Trying to find, but anyways, yeah, so I mean, in those 3 games on Karabast against control decks, like 3 different control decks, we ran through them like it was nothing. That was, I hope that was helpful in just watching how you beat control, but it didn't feel challenging at all. I imagine this deck's most challenging matchups are probably like aggro versus aggro, which is definitely a thing. I do really like that this list has more flyers. I think more decks are going to start to do that because it makes a lot of sense. For one, you're less likely to get force choked on turn 1, so I did switch the list back a little bit. I did put 3 R2-D2s in. I just took out the Greedo altogether. I just think R2 is better on turn 1, and I just want to be able to siphon through my deck and dig for cause I believe in, and guerrilla attack pods and K2SOs and fleet lieutenants and things that help me close the game out, even falcons. And that's what I would say is different about this list versus Sabine Green, is you have a lot of instant speed damage coming in, or damage that you can do the turn that you play it, in other words. Instant speed is for a cause I believe in, fleet lieutenant, K2SO when it dies, of course, but guerrilla attack bot and falcon can just come in and attack immediately, and that's why he had Chewie in here, I'm sure too, because it takes a hit and then it swings in. But like I said, I just wanted to have R2-D2 in this deck. I just felt like that makes so much sense in this list, just to dig for certain cards. That's what aggro wants, is to like get a board presence, put pressure on your opponent, and then finish out with 4 cause I believe ins and falcons and attack bots. So this list was really good. It's tough to say in comparison with Sabine Green because I actually have not played that deck that much yet. I just kind of stayed away from it because everyone was playing it, and I don't really like to play mirror matches, so it's not very much fun. So I haven't even tried that deck out yet. But I mean, a little bit on Force Table, but not like intensely. But the Change of Heart was really sweet. Like I said, it's like a peekaboo card. Like I was just holding that card against, I think it was Palpatine that one game, just to kind of like say, hey, play a big unit, I dare you, and I'm gonna steal it and swing in with it. Like what Palpatine, what color was it? That was Cunning. So they might have played like a Fet's Fire Spray. which would have been nuts. Um, but yeah, I mean this deck is good. It felt a lot stronger than Sabine Red when I compared those two. So, this is part two of that three-part series of comparing all the Sabine decks, and this deck definitely feels a leg up over Sabine Red. Sabine Red is just missing that extra oomph. I mean, being able to ready a unit that's 3 resources or less, or whatever it is, that one card is nice and everything, but that's still, you're not playing a unit and you're not guaranteed the damage. I like cards that guarantee me the damage, or I'm at least playing a unit at the very least. So, um, I don't know. Just doesn't feel as strong as this deck. I didn't even. I think I used Surprise Strike in some of the Force Table matchups. So that obviously that feels very strong, and that's an argument for why one Greedo could be in here. But I like that hitting as many Rebel units as possible with For a Cause. So that's another reason I took Greedo out, because you already have Surprise Strike as a card that doesn't give you damage. Then I think just about everything else in the Change of Heart. So Surprise Strike and Change of Heart. Otherwise, everything else in the deck. So what, 46 cards is going to give you damage, or 45 cards if you're playing a For a Cause, I believe in. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you guys think of Carabast. If it started to feel a little bit better, not as glitchy. So it seems like they're definitely taking people's complaints and the bugs and trying to fix them. So hopefully it continues to get better. I would really like to be able to see my opponent's base, though. That would be really nice, just without having to attack into it. But as always, y'all have a good one, and peace out.